West. Hello everyone, welcome to The Road to WRESTLEMANIA. What a great title that is. In this show, I will attempt to, in the space of 10 minutes, book a random WWE wrestler from wherever they are on the card now to the main event of WrestleMania. And to make sure it's random, I have got my random wrestler generator. Now, ignore the name that's there. That's just the first one that came when I opened the file. We're going to randomize it right now. And then I'm going to give myself 10 minutes to book them straight to that main event of WrestleMania. Whoever we get right now, that's who we are booking. So, who is main eventing WrestleMania 39? Okay. It's Rick Boogs. Right, so one thing, we are going to pretend that he is magically recovered from his injury whenever I want him to be. I know he basically is probably going to miss WrestleMania 39, but that would be a boring video. So, Rick Boogs, he returns tomorrow, and he's WrestleMania main eventing. We got 10 minutes. Let's see how this goes. Oh my. Right. How the hell do I do this? See you in 10 minutes, folks. This bit won't be interesting.
10 minutes of Rick Boogs later.
Okay, so 9 minutes is not enough time to book a year's worth of wrestling. But here we go. So I am booking this as of the weekend where Karrion Kross returned on SmackDown. So on that show, Nakamura became the #1 contender for the Intercontinental title against Walter. Now, next week on SmackDown, Walter will retain, but via nefarious means, leading to Nakamura getting another shot against Walter at Clash at the Castle. At that show, Nakamura beats Walter. And Nakamura, in a strong style, they both just kick each other for 20 minutes. I mean, everybody just gets hurt. It won't look pretty, but it will be glorious. And Nakamura becomes the Intercontinental Champion. At that same show, Drew McIntyre will beat Roman Reigns, but due to Paul Heyman and his unscrupulous ways, it will only be for the Universal title. Now, I know the Universal title is the one that Roman's had the longest amount of time, but for what happens later, I need Roman to drop the Universal title. So Drew will, because he was not a Raw superstar, he was not eligible for the Raw title. But then, also because reasons, Drew then gets sent to Raw. So it's a bit complicated, but Drew is going to win the Universal title and then become the Raw champion. The day after Clash at the Castle, Nakamura has his big celebration. He took down the big giant Walter. And who comes out? His old mate, his old tag team partner, the guy who played the guitar, Boogs. And you know what Boogs does? Boogs turns on him. Boogs just destroys Nakamura. He goes that Nakamura just forgot about him, didn't care that he was out for such a long time, that he broke himself at WrestleMania in a match for Nakamura. And did Nakamura care? No, didn't care at all. And Rick Boogs just wipes out Nakamura. And that sets up Nakamura's first title defense, which will be Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rick Boogs for the Intercontinental title in whichever pay-per-view. Extreme Rules, I think, is coming after Clash at the Castle. So Boogs and Nakamura are going to have an Extreme Rules match. They're going to have a match where Boogs is going to use his guitar, like really start smashing over, but Nakamura comes out on top. Nakamura keeps the Intercontinental title, and Nakamura's trajectory carries on in that way. Boogs, however, has decided that he is sick of... He was playing the big dancing monkey, the dancing puppet that was playing for show for all of the people, and the people didn't care. The people forgot about him. He ripped tendons in his legs. He was going to be out for who knows how long. Did anyone care? Is anyone asking where Rick Boogs is? No, he was forgotten. So screw the people. And he's going to screw over anybody that the people get behind. That starts with Ezekiel. Ezekiel, the other guitar guy, the other guy that's now I love the people, like everyone, let's talk, speak with Zeke and stuff like that. Boogs just goes to town on Ezekiel. And for 2 or 3 weeks of SmackDown shows, Boogs just beats up Ezekiel week after week after week, getting win after win after win in more and more brutal ways, building up this freak of strength, this freak of nature that Rick Boogs is, like doing stuff that just makes you think, wow, this guy is scary and he's strong. Then we get to Survivor Series, and as is traditional with WWE, although maybe not anymore, we get the draft like 2 weeks before Survivor Series, and Rick Boogs gets drafted to Raw. And the first thing he does when he gets to Raw, he continues his attack on the people that the people love. And he starts with one of the most popular wrestlers ever, Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio is out with his kid Dominic. They're doing the things that the Mysterios do. And again, Rick Boogs just comes out of the crowd and just showcases how strong he is. Like the fact that Rick Boogs is able to just lift anybody means that he could probably just, throw Rey into orbit, probably. But yeah, he basically decimates Rey Mysterio, leading to a match at Survivor Series, Rick Boogs versus Rey Mysterio, which again will be another showcase of strength, another just tour de force of just how strong. Like we're just trying to build up how scarily strong Rick Boogs is, that he can just do anything he wants to anyone he wants. Make it seem like he's not just that goofy idiot that plays the guitar. He's someone that, like, if he snaps, he's going to snap people. So he goes over Rey Mysterio at Survivor Series, and then that leads on to his next feud, which will go into day 1, and that will be when he sets his sights on the other major powerhouse on Raw, Bobby Lashley. So Rick Boogs is then going to start targeting Bobby Lashley. And this is going to have some of your general like feats of strength, tests of strength, and unlike usual, where you usually have like the big strong face character winning these things to show that they are surprisingly strong against the big monster, in this situation we are trying to build up that Rick Boogs is stronger than anyone thinks, and he's even stronger than Bobby Lashley. He beats Bobby Lashley in an arm wrestling tournament. He beats Bobby Lashley in a powerlifting face-off. He just shows that he is a stronger, more powerful man than even Bobby Lashley. And that leads into their day 1 match where Rick Boogs, again, beats Bobby Lashley. Which then leads us to the Royal Rumble. Now, the easiest thing with any of these, right? Just have the guy win the Royal Rumble. But it's not so simple, because there's a certain guy who is pretty much locked in to win the Royal Rumble, in my opinion, which is Cody Rhodes. Because Cody Rhodes is likely to return around that time. And how can Cody not win the Rumble if he's ready in January? So, the Rumble's going to happen, but Rick Boogs is going to enter at like number 4, number 5. And he's going to start by just launching a couple of smaller guys just straight out the ring. Like, people are going to leap into the ring and then be bounced straight back off. Like, Rick Boogs is just going to eliminate 4 people, 5 people, 6 people. He's not going to break the record, but he's going to get close. And he's going to do eliminations in such a way where it's just going to be like, my God, this guy is crazy. But you get the number 29 entrant of Cody Rhodes, who is just able to like be wily enough, be knowledgeable enough to be able to get the better of the rampaging bear of Rick Boogs. Cody last eliminates Rick Boogs to win the Rumble. Now, this is where it was important that Roman kept the world title, because Cody is going to challenge Roman Reigns. Cody wants to win the belt his daddy never won. Cody wants to get that old traditional WWF title. So that's going to be one main event for WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns for the WWF title. He's going to get that belt. He's going to put that belt on the gravestone of Dusty Rhodes. That is Cody's mission. Which leaves the available title being Drew McIntyre with the Universal Championship. So, we get Elimination Chamber. And in the build-up to Elimination Chamber, we're going to have certain qualifying matches and so forth to see who gets in. And eventually you end up with the lineup for the Elimination Chamber being Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, The Miz, Theory, Lashley, and Rick Boogs. And again, you'll have Rick Boogs is going to enter probably first or second. He's going to start the match. And he's not going to eliminate everybody, but he's definitely going to have that sense of he's going to eliminate a couple of the big faces. He's going to eliminate Rey Mysterio. He's going to eliminate Bobby Lashley. And he will last eliminate Seth Rollins to become the number one contender for the Universal title. Which leads us with just one thing. So there we are. WrestleMania is set. But before we get to WrestleMania, one last thing to try and build up the fact that him versus Drew is going to be a big feud. We get one pay-per-view, I believe it's Fastlane, between the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania. Now, during this year, we're going to have Sheamus and all of his friends, Butch and Yorkshire Man. Let's just pretend that he's decided to do a Nikki ASH and he's now walking around in a superhero cape going, I am Yorkshire Man, but in more of a Yorkshire accent that I cannot do. And Sheamus is now a face. He's like the second or third biggest face on the Raw brand at this point. And he's back to being best mates with Drew McIntyre because those two go back a long way. So at Fastlane, Rick Boogs decides that before he takes on Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, he's going to show Drew what lies in store for him. And he is going to take on Sheamus at Fastlane. And Rick Boogs, well, obviously he wins because he's about to main event WrestleMania, but he doesn't just win. He obliterates Sheamus. He takes a shillelagh to his leg. He puts a guitar over his head. Like, just after the match, he just hurts Sheamus again and again and again and puts Sheamus on the shelf to the point where Sheamus almost misses WrestleMania. Like, Sheamus will return a week before WrestleMania to set up whatever match he will be a part of at WrestleMania. But Rick Boogs just hurts Sheamus. And that just leads to Drew McIntyre just feeling like he needs to get revenge. This isn't just a match now. This isn't just a case of Rick Boogs versus Drew McIntyre. This is Drew McIntyre needing to fight for the honor of his friend Sheamus, who was just unceremoniously beaten down by Rick Boogs. And that's where you have your WrestleMania main event. Drew McIntyre versus Rick Boogs for the Universal title. And I will let you decide who wins that match. Okay, so that was the road to WrestleMania. Let me know what you think. That was booking an entire 9-month program from a random wrestler in 10 minutes.
West